Jesse's video. Nope.
Yeah. Are we good?
Yeah, good to go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
Go ahead, Jesse.
We're on. Jesse, get up here. Let's go. Jesse's ready. Who wants to see Jesse
He's been
here on
training for this
crafting?
moment for all
This
his life.
is his day. This is his moment. He's so
He's a million followers.
no. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to the live. We're excited to be here for another live. Doing this alive. Actually, let me introduce real quick. My name is Danny. Sam's here. Jesse's here, and we have a special guest here. Just making sure all of our technical things are happening and working. So we have two things to talk about real quick because we are streaming live on Instagram and on TikTok. So please, if you're not in the channel, let us know. Drop the comment. And that you hear us, and then you're able to see it. So we want to make sure that's what we hear. But again, welcome to the live. You guys coming on the live. Just our first live of the day, which was on our YouTube channel and our Facebook. Not Facebook. So that was awesome. We crafted. I made coasters using the and it was pretty cool. We sublimated, we engraved on them, we cut, so it was pretty cool. But again, everyone have a great day and a great start to your week. And again, anybody we need to say hi to, can you say hi in the comments?
No, so that's right with us. Pierre said he's not special anymore.
He's not special. Who told you that? So, that's it. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not special. You are very special. You're special at least to us. Okay? So yeah. Okay, so I am actually going to put this to myself on my hat, see if that works. Yeah, so I have some. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better. Is the sound better? Okay, there was. So let me know if this sounds better. If it works, awesome. Real quick, before we get to the thing, again, we are on the channel. So if you're on YouTube, let us know. Let us know that you can hear us and you can see us correctly. That I don't look weird. Besides my normal self. But anyways, we are this week. We are doing our last trade show of the year. We're doing dinners here at the at home. It's the home show for us. So if you're in the area, you want to come down, please come down, say hi to us, come craft with us. We have over, I believe Sam said, over 300 vendors being there this weekend, starting Friday, Saturday. It's a lot of fun. If you come to the booth, you'll not only see a couple of us, but you also see probably the other faces that you haven't seen. You'll probably meet the rest of the crew so because it is the home show. We're bringing a lot of different faces. So come meet with us, come craft with us. Remember, we have all new make and takes at the booth, whether it's sublimation, engraving, UV resin, and on top of that, we have all new classes that Sam and John teach. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to do that weekend, these 2 days. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So if you're coming by, let us know. If you do say hashtag Maker for Live, we're going to go ahead and give you the MakerFlo experience. So make sure you say hashtag MakerFlo Live. What's up?
A lot of people say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Jess is for you.
Hi, Jess.
Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Carolyn. Jennifer. Elke's Crafty Creations.
Welcome.
Nancy.
Nancy, how are you? Annabelle.
And
It's choppy again. Okay, try holding it just here. Will work. Anyway, you were saying?
That's it. It's choppy again.
It's choppy again? Okay. So I don't know if it's mics or actually maybe turn one off. Let's try turning one off because we do have two, and maybe that's throwing it off. I turned one off. Hopefully that helps. But again, finish this for us this week here at home. Make sure you come stop and say hi. We welcome everyone to buy and come craft. So it should be a lot of fun. Also, we good? Everything's good?
Oh, Angelis said hello too.
Hi, Angelis, ¿cómo estás?
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Sí. Bienvenidos, estamos live en TikTok y en Instagram. Si nos miran en los canales, déjanos saber que se oye bien y que se mira bien, por favor, para que si no, lo arreglemos. Let's see, what else do we have? What else? Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Ya somos tiempo para ir a la casa, terminando el día casi. But yeah, so what else can we talk about? We have a lot of stuff going on. Besides the trade show, we do have new things coming to MakerFlo. So make sure you guys are signed up for the newsletter. You don't want to be the last one out. about new products that may be around the corner. So make sure you guys sign up for that. I think some of you guys may have received some of those samples already. And yeah, so hopefully you guys are liking them, and I hope the rest of you guys like them when you guys get them. Okay, so she says, se mira oye perfecto, se mira perfecto. Okay. Gracias por avisar. No sé si viste el mensaje, te mandé un mensaje de correo, y no sé si lo viste. Déjame saber, o si cuando tengas tiempo, si me respondes, o yo, sí, ahora me estoy, ahora estoy viendo estoy seguro que lo mandé, so, déjame saber si lo recibiste, ¿ok? How do how do we get samples? How do we get samples? That is a great question. Some lucky people here on the line actually, we've gotten a few samples because they are some of our influencers, and they were the lucky ones to get those samples. But if you ever want to maybe be part of that, I think I'll let Sam explain that a little better, because she's the one that takes care of that stuff. I'm literally here just to do this and take pictures. So, but she can let you know all the details about that stuff. And see how. So someone's asking, how can they get samples?
Yeah. I can answer that question.
Yeah, that's why I said Sam could answer that better than me.
Okay. So right now we are overwhelmed with the amount of responses we've had for the influencer program. So specifically, we're looking for people who are great with engraving, epoxy resin, UV resin, or any kind of craft with our products that is not specifically sublimation. So if you dabble in the rest of those crafts, we'd love to hear from you. Typically, we look for someone who has at least 1,000 followers, great engagement on their content. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you are not quite there, just keep growing that business, and then hit us up in a little bit. Hopefully, we're for you. But right now, specifically, we're looking for engraving, UV resin, and epoxy artists. So hopefully that helps. That's it.
Hopefully that answer your question. And yeah, so yeah, that's a way of actually a good way of. So if you fall under those categories, reach out. Did you say how to reach out, or where to reach out, or you didn't? No. Yeah, there you go. So hopefully you heard of that. But yeah, that's the way. But again, how I recommend, if it's time, joining us. We normally craft on Tuesdays. We go live, and I know I just went over there to make sure it was on. It's hot in here, so it got cooler in Arizona, but inside here it's warming up, and we don't understand why. But maybe you can more of us in the studio right now. But yeah, so make sure you actually, if you're interested, make sure to um, reach out to us, and we will contact you as fast as we can when we get a chance to. So yeah, so again, I don't know what time is it? Time to craft yet? It can be. It probably should be. We have a few steps to do. Right? All right, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna hand it over to Sam so she can start crafting. I don't think I showed you what we're doing, huh? No, we didn't. So this is what we're doing. Sam, can you explain what you use or what you
Yeah.
use?
So okay, so we're going to be doing something fun today with epoxy because we realized we've been neglecting epoxy a little bit. So we're going to be crafting, making some cool little keychains. It's going to be like a two-part process though. So as Danny's holding one of the letters that I did earlier in front of you, if you hold it to the side, like just to the side of the, so now there's two layers. Now one of them's blue, one is silver. I don't know if you guys can get that detail in the camera, but basically this is part four. So you'll do the first part foil, and then the next part you do is going to be the color. That way it has that colored background. Yeah, we'll show you how to do it today. Yeah, it's a great way to really interesting and whatever you want it to be. It's versatile. But yeah, it's really easy to make fun custom epoxy pieces, and this is just one of the ways you can do it. The reason why we're using foil specifically is we're getting ready to make our own set of foil. So if you've been to one of our pinners classes, you might have seen that we are doing fun with foils and flowers. So we have little guides added to your extra kit, and they're all gold foil plates, gold, and so a lot of definitely a new product. elevate your epoxy game. Little trays or boxes that have like the cool gold flake in it, how you get that colored background effect. Hopefully, this is something you guys have been interested in, and if not, we do have a page where you can throw in some suggestions. We'd love to hear from you. That way, we're keeping crafty and entertaining. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and get started before we take up too much more time. Because, like I said, it is a two-step process, and epoxy doesn't cure the same way that UV resin does. We're not going to have it done today. So I have several done pieces that we can look at later. But what I have now is we're going to start from scratch. So I'll go ahead and do one of these letter molds here. We're going to do the gold flake. And then I have another one that's halfway done that we can add the color background to so that you guys can kind of see the whole process. Yes. Yes.
Just for wait to see you this weekend at TV.
Awesome.
I'll be there tonight.
Yes.
Let's see, and then Gail Fashion Design says hello.
Hi, Gail.
Asking where were you at?
I was at work.
Yeah, the video looks kind of
radiating from me. That's what that blur is. Because it is muy caliente in here.
How is the sign though? How's the sound? Sound okay?
Do I sound all right?
On TikTok, is the sound okay? And then Robert, hi guys.
Hello. All right.
Oh, we're up to 9.9 likes.
Good job, guys. Awesome, crushing it.
Says, I think it's your mom. Sounds good, she says.
Awesome.
TikTok. And then we have 2 shares. Let's keep sharing it, guys. Let's see how many shares we can get in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. We're going to give something.
13, sure, why not? We'll try to give you something. See if TikTok on
All right, guys, so I'm going to start mixing the epoxy. If I was not in a big open area right now, I would absolutely be using a respirator, but for the purposes of this live and you guys can hear me, I am not wearing a respirator. But don't worry, we are in a very open environment, even though it looks like a small studio. It is not. So I'm going to start by pouring my epoxy. For anyone who's used our epoxy before, you guys know that it is a 1-to-1 ratio, and that is by volume, not by weight.
Of course, like always. I miss Instagram. No, we are actually on both right now. Actually, welcome to the game.
If you're on TikTok, yes, you're missing Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, guys, I'm pouring the first part of my epoxy. Since it's even pour, I want to make sure that I'm going to the same line as I do with my next set. I'm going to take it to the 50 mil line. A little bit too much, but I'd rather have too much than too little. And then I'll show you guys how to do it. Now I'm grabbing my second part, and I'm going to go to the 100 mil line, so it's nice and
Actually, oh, it's a dual.
That's right, Ashley. While we were away, Jesse's been working hard on the restream stuff with Pierre. So here we are. Okay. Good job, guys. You did it. I think Pierre and Jesse should come and take a bow. What do you guys think? Oh. Well, when we have that Jesse cam, this won't be an issue, will it? I'm going to get that Jesse cam going. All right, guys. I just put 50 mils of each part A and part B. I'm going to go ahead and set a little timer for myself. Once I can get this to cooperate, we're going to stir it for 3 minutes. Start. Okay. So when you're stirring, guys, with this epoxy, you want to go nice and slow. I'll kind of bring it to the camera here so you can see it a little better. This one. Yeah. Okay, so I've got it kind of, see how I'm scraping the sides? So you want to scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, make sure it's really well mixed. You don't have to stir it fast as long as you're stirring it thoroughly. And the fact is, the more thoroughly and the less quickly also means the less bubbles that you'll work with. So just take your time, get it nice and evenly mixed. We're doing 3 minutes. Once this part has cured, once this is mixed, then we're going to have a 15-minute work time. With our epoxy, since it is a fast set epoxy, it's going to be dry to touch within 2 to 4 hours. So for my tumbler makers out there that have to spend all day waiting for their epoxy to dry, this is a great alternative. So really a big fan of the fast set. The only thing I don't have nearby that you might want to, depending on how much products you're working with, is like a torch or a heat gun. Something like that will also help reduce the bubbles if they become an issue. So we're going to go ahead and get this all mixed up. I do see that it's already starting to look a little bit more clear than it did when I started mixing. That just tells you that the parts are mixing together evenly. So that is a good sign. And we've got about a minute and a half left to stir. Any questions so far, guys? Who has tried our epoxy? What are your guys' thoughts? I would love to hear it. Also, Peter, if you can turn up the AC, that would be amazing. Thank you. One thing I will say about epoxy for anybody in the more humid states is humidity plays a huge factor. So if you're ever not sure, I recommend getting like a humidity gauge because you basically don't want to go above, I want to say 35% humidity when you are mixing this epoxy. And a lot of epoxy and stuff like that too. That's kind of common when you're mixing two-part epoxy.
Weird on TikTok.
All right, guys, so we're on two platforms, Instagram and TikTok. How does it sound on both of them? We would love to hear from both Instagram and TikTok. Tell us how I sound. Do I sound like my annoying self, or do I sound worse? And I am just mixing. You got about 30 seconds left to go, guys. Once we're done mixing this up and kind of getting our gold flake in there, we'll go ahead and mix epoxy one more time. So if you missed any of these steps, or we're going to do it again. But for now, we are just about done with our first batch of epoxy that we'll be using. All right, that's my timer. Perfect. Okay, so now my epoxy is mixed together. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some foil in here. Because again, the way that these keychains ornaments are, I'm sorry, not keychain ornaments, the way that these keychain letters are designed, the bottom of the key of the mold itself is going to be the front. So whatever you want in the front is the first layer that you do. So we'll go ahead and lay down our foil first, since we want to have the color backing it up. So I'll go ahead and add some foil to this mixture. Don't need a whole lot. I will warn you, the foil has a mind of its own a little bit. So once you have it open, I kind of tend to open it over my epoxy. That way I don't lose too much. And then just add what you need. Okay, let's see if that was enough. And then there's no right or wrong answer to how much foil you can put in your epoxy. You just want to make sure it still moves pretty fluidly. That way it looks like a mixture, not just like a ball of foil. So I'll do a little bit more, I think. With this amount I have in here. Now, the next thing I'll show you to do is you want to kind of take your time and be a little patient with it. So when we're pouring our epoxy into our letters, I'm going to use actually the stick itself, and I'm going to go ahead and just drop it right into the where I want it. Now, what I really like about using something controlled like this, like the little popsicle stick that I'm using, is say you want a little more gold flake in areas, grab where that flake is and incorporate it in the letter. So it's a great way for control. That way you have kind of the smooth front that you want and good coverage with your foil. Hey, Holly. Awesome. Hello.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hi, Georgia. Yeah, the foil's a lot of fun. I'm trying to show Danny that you can make cool things with it, so that's what's happening right now. Um, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. For the person who said that they'll see us at Pinners, can I just say my very favorite VIP moment so far was when Danny and I were walking along Pinners and interviewing people, and we literally came up to someone who had the live up on their phone, and they're like, "Look, it's you." So if we could make that happen again, I would enjoy it a lot. It really is. It really is, and it can be very relaxing. You just need to make sure you have the time for it and that you have all of your prep work done. Because I will say, with epoxy, you only have so much work time, so you really just want to have everything ready to go. Wow, mom, way to call everybody out. Have you been hanging out with Jesse? Like, also, I appreciate you. Hey, if my mom can like it, so can you. Is what she's telling you. All right, so I've got a good amount of these done. Remember, you only have so much work time with this, so you don't want to keep working it for too long. So I'm going to go ahead and just do maybe a couple more letters and then call it with this epoxy. You'll notice that I'm not being super duper careful and I'm kind of dripping on the mold. What's really cool about epoxy is once it cures, we can just peel all that right. So you don't have to worry about not making a mess. You can literally just, I mean, I could even do it right now, but you could just go one by one and keep going along down the line too. So there's that letter, another. When you're doing stuff like domino sets, things like that, this kind of method comes in handy because they're all kind of connected together. It just really depends on like the amount of evenness that you're going for, like what kind of look you're trying to achieve. But yeah, you can definitely be quick with this too.
Alright, Sam, good day.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. So I'm working with our Flopoxy right now, which is our two-part epoxy, part A and B. Our epoxy is going to be a one to one ratio epoxy by weight. I'm sorry, by volume, not by weight. So for people who are using the scales to measure out their epoxy, that is not for this one. For this one, you just want to go ahead and measure it by the little milliliter lines on your measuring cup. Mhm.
like,
I mean, it depends, Mom, but we have not announced the prize yet. Something different, and we're streaming on a couple different platforms. So, I mean, we'll see how many likes we get to, and if we're at least at 50,000, we'll reconvene on the subject. How about that?
so
Okay.
about that, uh, we're gonna find another way to getting the color like
Yeah.
there. We're
Okay.
gonna maybe say like what we build it back up.
Cool. We're working with a new agency too, so we'll definitely try to reach out and see what kind of answers we can get from them. But for now, we'll try our best, and hopefully you're just enjoying the live enough to be here, and you're not just making on a prize mom. But yeah, so I've got all my gold flake laid out the way I want. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and do the black color because again, remember I have one letter that's already done and ready to go. So what we'll do is we're gonna pretend that we have fast forwarded and these are dry, and this is the next layer. So I'll go ahead and do that next layer on this M right here so you guys can see what is involved in the next layer of epoxy. All right, so I'm gonna put on some fresh gloves because I have gold flake all over the other ones and I want this one just to be color. And I'm gonna go ahead and measure out my epoxy again. So if you guys missed the epoxy, how to mix it, what it is, we'll go through it one more time right now. So I've got my Flopoxy. Again, that's our two-part asset epoxy. So what makes this super ideal for like tumbler makers is the fact that it is dry to touch within 2 to 4 hours. So in a cup, you don't have to wait 12 hours layers to actually use it. Yes, Jesse. Hola, Victoria.
Since I don't get to win,
Thanks, Mom. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this together. I've got 30 mils so far, and then I'll go ahead and do 30 mils of my second part. That way they're evenly mixed. We're doing a very small amount this time, just because we're only doing that one letter. If I have extra left over, I'll pour it in some of these non-done ones just to kind of see what that looks like. But I know it's super amazing. And I'm gonna go to let's see, 60 mils with my next line. All right. So now I've got an even amount of part A and part B. So I'll go ahead and mix those together. And again, we're going to do this for 3 minutes. So I'm going to start on my little timer. You don't have to stir fast. You just want to stir thoroughly. So here we go. I'm scraping all the sides and just really making sure it's mixed together well. So who here has used the epoxy before? Who's used Flopoxy? If you haven't used it, are you curious about it? What questions do you have? We would love to answer those. And again, for anyone just tuning in, a proper PPE for epoxy would be gloves, respirator, and preferably that you're in an open environment. But again, everyone's allergies are different for epoxy, so just make sure you're being safe or as safe as you can be. If you're having any trouble, make sure you your PPE always. Better on TikTok. Maybe if I slow down, maybe I'm just too fast.
we have 5,000 likes on TikTok.
Awesome. Great job, guys. I hear you're 5,000 likes. Keep crushing it.
All right. Which are Foxy?
Me or them? All right. Well, I would ask the question back at you guys. What do you prefer? And for me personally, I feel like it's epoxy. I prefer epoxy. It takes more time, a little bit more effort, but like I feel like the results are way more stunning. Um, I don't know. UV resin's a lot of fun too, but it's all about the like instant gratification. Like you either instantly did it right or you instantly did not. Whereas epoxy, you have to wait a few hours to know what happened. It's more exciting. Awesome. Yeah, it absolutely depends on the project. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, 1000% depends on the project. But if I just had to answer the question, epoxy. Wow. I'm all cricket. You got about 40 seconds left. Again, you just want to make sure you're scraping all the walls, stirring nice and thoroughly, not necessarily vigorously. Just get it nice and mixed together. I hope that answers your question. Who had asked that? The question you just asked me, Jesse? Thank you, Marza. That was a great question. Let's hear it.
Will you guys teach it during tennis?
I would love to teach epoxy during dinners, but they don't have any 4-hour classes. So we'll have to talk to Roxanne and see if she makes an exception. Right now, those classes are only an hour long, so there's not a project we could complete within that hour, unfortunately. Yes.
Victoria said I haven't used epoxy.
Isn't that great? Let me try to keep this in camera to where you guys can see. Okay, cool. You can see it there. Perfect. So next thing, my epoxy is together. So I want to go ahead and fill this letter M right here. I don't know if we can switch to this one overhead. Okay. And does it zoom at all? All right. So this one that I'm pointing at right here, this is the one that we're going to do. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shake my little alcohol ink. Now, for anyone who's used our alcohol inks, they once they are opened, it's hard to keep them in the bottle. So you want to make sure you're opening it over whatever you're going to use. So like me, I'm going to go ahead and just do this right over my cup and then pour in some of the colors in there. Okay. Now I went the extra mile and I said, why don't we throw in some glitter too? So I have this cosmic carbon here. And I'm going to go ahead and use that to throw in the epoxy. Yeah, we're working on this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour some in here because I want the color to be a little bit more opaque than it would be with just alcoholing. That's great. And I'm going to mix everything together and kind of see how that turns out.
Ashley said an ornament class would be cool.
An ornament class would be really cool, but we did that our first year of dinner. So I did that, Ashley. Wish you were there. But no, we're actually working on something really cool and ornament related with my friend Jess designing for you. So hopefully I should have some updates on that really, really soon. Yeah, I really like this color. When I hold it up, I actually see that it's still pretty transparent, so I might add a little bit more alcohol in here. The other nice thing about using epoxy versus alcoholing is it does have a little bit more room for additives. So when you want those like opaque colors, epoxy is the route you want to go because UV resin has to be a little bit clear in order for you to even cure through it. So that's another perk of using epoxy versus the UV resin. Like this stuff would probably never be able to cure through. It's just too dark. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and layer that in. Same thing, I would use the popsicle stick. That way you really have some control over where you're pouring. We're going to go ahead and just fill the rest of this letter mold here. So again, this is a letter mold I did a little earlier, so it's already set and good to go. We are just doing the second layer. For people who have used epoxy, you can kind of layer more epoxy over it. But for anyone else wondering, there's nothing that I needed to do to treat between the layers. After this first layer, you can literally just add the epoxy. What's up, guys?
I was gonna do the picture.
Awesome. All right, so that letter is pretty much filled. So that looks pretty cool. Basically, just gonna let it fall into place. It is self-leveling, just like our UV resin. So if you kind of just pour it and you don't over pour, it's gonna go ahead and work out. All right, now we wanted to see what this would look like on two, right? So let's just go ahead and add it to the other ones, and then maybe later on post the story show the results. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just throw some of this black into the other letters that are not set yet. My theory is it's just going to kind of creep into the flake, not look as not look as consistent as the other one did. But we'll see. You can use like our wands too. You just have to be patient with it. I've lost a lot of the tips trying to clean those wands with epoxy. You could also use like a silicone brush. They make those as well. That way you don't have to like throw away anything that you're using. So there's some reusable items too that you can use. That's a good question. Anybody else have any epoxy questions? Time difference for what? So our lives are at the same time they have always been for us. For all of you guys who switch times, there are different times for you because I guess that's how time works.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the best way to describe it? So we haven't changed. You guys did.
It is 3:35. Yeah, 3 p.m.
So if everybody could just set their clocks to Arizona time, we won't have this issue anymore because Arizona time does not change. It's fine. Let them know you're on Arizona time. I'm sure that holds up in court. Yes. Do you have another great question? And then let me know when you get that question back again. There's one last thing we could show you guys on here before I finish, but I would need one of your guys' help. Do either of you want to grab me the heat gun? Huh? Yeah, we're almost done. Mhm. The heat gun, it's plugged into my by the couch area. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the little speed mode, and we're gonna do that on these letters at the bottom, the numbers at the bottom too. For anyone curious as to what mold I'm using, actually our alphabet mold, which is good for epoxy and for UV resin. This guy's super versatile. I love that you can do both crafts in here. Test it out both. I will tell you, if you are trying to do UV on it, it absolutely does matter the lamp that you're using. So if you're using a lamp with too high of wattage, you will bow the molds, as my friend Annabelle found out. But yeah, so just make sure the wattage is correct for you and UV. Yes, Jesse. It is. So our epoxy, Flopoxy is a passive epoxy. It is dry to touch within 2 to 4 hours, and then it is fully cured within 24. So great for color makers.
And Cairo, Roberto said,
Hey, Roberto.
the first base is with regular.
I did my first base with regular resin. I wanted to keep it all epoxy just for this live, but you absolutely could do it with UV resin as the first layer. That's a great call out.
At 7,500.
Awesome. Great job, guys.
Pretty good considering the last couple.
Mhm. We're so glad you guys are all here. So let us know any other questions. And Roberto, it's good to see you on a live, my friend. We were just talking about your guys' or your videos. They are blowing up, sir, with all those likes. Great job. All right, I got my last one to do right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this heat gun and show you guys how to get bubbles.
Paula.
I mean, potentially, we'll see. All right, so I've got all of my epoxy laid out where I want it to be. We've turned this gold board into a blackboard. What? All right. Yes.
So it's not recommended.
You could, but you'd have to do it in layers. This mold is kind of thick, so if you were to do like the full letter mold or number mold in one sitting, you'll have what some of my friends experience, and that is little gushy insides to your UV resin keychain. It's just too thick. So do layers, and you're good to go.
Also,
Yes. Well, I think if we're doing a giveaway on TikTok, we should also make it eligible for our Instagram people to leave that comment on TikTok because we're all in here together. So it's kind of a team effort.
Yeah, but we need.
Jesse makes the rules, guys. Listen to what Jesse has to say. Hi, Jocelyn. So right now, guys, I'm using this heat gun here. The reason why I'm using this heat gun is I want to go ahead and try to blow out. I've noticed that it does have a bit of bubbles in here, so this little heat gun goes through. So you can probably see that on live time too, how they start to disintegrate. Yeah, super easy to use. Much safer than if you have a torch. However, if you have a torch, you're used to it. I love how those work. So it really depends on your comfortability with your tools. Another thing you can do with the epoxy, let's say one of them runs a little bit over, and you want to save yourself some time later, you can use this little popsicle stick and actually just spread it. So that way you can just kind of clip off the extras and it's not pulled over your letter. And you still have access to where that little key ring is going to go. Another fun way of preventing issues. All right, any other questions about this, guys? And I do see some of the gold flake is rising up in some of the other ones that we did not set first. So I will say it is a great idea to make sure that you're doing this in two different layers instead of just pouring them on top of each other. Because like see with this, see all the little gold flake that's popping up? Same with the W. And with your heat gun, depending on what pen you're using, you can adjust the level of heat. So if you feel like it's just not popping the bubbles the way it should, you can always just raise that heat level a little bit, and then that should take care of the rest. All right. So we still have probably about 10 minutes of work time with all of these letters and numbers. So I'll go ahead and just set down my heat gun for a second, and we'll show you guys one of the finished examples. Let's see, I think I have a few over here. There was one that was gold. Do you have the gold one over there? The gold one? Over there somewhere?
But actually, blame me for what? Am I getting blamed for?
Okay, so here is an example of a done one. So if you look at it from the top, all you can really see is the gold flake. You got a little bit of a black background, which is really cool. And then if you look on the side of it, you can see where the parts basically meet, where it goes from gold to black. So you can see those layers. The back is just black. Super cool. And then if you wanted to further personalize these, you could always use vinyl, use your Cricut. You can definitely like make little fun patterns, things like that, or put more things on there. It's really up to you. But yeah, that's an example of what it will look like done. It's just.
So,
Mm-hmm.
a couple things. Yes. We hold
We do not. We do tutorials on our YouTube channel. So these lives are probably the closest thing you'll get to the classes like that. But we have done a series before, like with the epoxy tumbler, where we did the first one. We did like an hour of prepping the cup and starting it, and then the next hour we did the next steps. So we can do those kind of series on lives, but we don't really teach them anywhere.
Genesis.
Thank you. Right.
And then after that, getting blamed for everything.
So Ashley, I had to run away a little earlier today during the live because Stephen was calling me to let me know that somebody sent us a package, and I said, "Is it a hat press?" And he said, "Looks like it." So I think we got it. But yes, so that arrived during the live. Perfect timing as always. And yeah, so these are just cool little examples of what you could do. But yeah, so this needs to cure. I'd say in about 2 to 4-ish hours, it should be peelable. If you are wanting to make sure that they're done, we'd say wait 24 just to make sure they're fully cured before you remove them. But yeah, that's really it. I'll go ahead and run the heat gun over these just a little bit longer. Yes. Got an announcement.
All right, guys. So this is what we're gonna do, which is
Uh,
all right, guys. So contest time and giveaway time. So one lucky viewer. Actually, we have multiple viewers right now because we're on two platforms. So anyone who's on Instagram, you're also included in this. So you're gonna go to our TikTok page. You're gonna go ahead and hold on. Let me fix this real quick. There it is. You're gonna go ahead and you are going to press on this video right here. You're gonna like it. You're gonna leave a comment, and that's gonna enter you to win a free gift on this live. Again, so if you're on Instagram, jump over to TikTok at the end of the live or right now, and start liking and leave a comment, and you're gonna enter to win a. Okay, we need 4,000 more likes. So, but this is the video you guys are gonna tap and leave a comment live. We will reach out to you. Yes, I'm gonna show you guys it one more time. This one right here. Let's do unboxing with maybe a way. So you're gonna like and you're gonna leave a comment, and that's gonna enter you guys into the contest, and we will message the winner. So good luck. You have about 15 minutes to do so, and good luck.
all right. And then an update for me. I will tell you, every single letter and number that we did, where we didn't wait for the layers to set, the foil was to the top. So definitely make sure I was rising the foil. That's what it does, Jesse. No, I don't know those. Anyways, so the foil did all kind of rise up, and you kind of see it like in the end, specifically the W. That's why you want to wait for the layers to set before you add another one on. But yeah, so this M here still looks absolutely perfect because we waited for that one here before we put the new color on top of it. So yeah. Yeah, any other questions, guys? I know this was a fun craft. It goes kind of quickly. Hopefully that all made sense. Let us know if you have questions. We have a few more minutes for you. If you have any others, come in while you guys were looking at the videos.
Genesis said,
Yeah,
Wallace had
awesome. Yeah, like the rose gold. That one's a really fun one too. And I was trying to do some different colors behind it. So blue was one of the ones we picked. I want to say the other one was purple, but I don't see that one around. So yeah, so there's just you can do basically any dark color will look nice behind that backing. Yeah. All right. Do you guys have anything else? My craft is done. Unless you guys want me to craft with something else, then you'll need to get me some more tools. I mean, I could technically do a UV resin letter really quick. Yeah, that's fine. If I could get UV resin, another a light. That's it. That's all I need. That's todo. All right, so I'm gonna put on some gloves. You guys, our diabolical plan worked. Jesse on camera. Now, if you guys enjoyed that and you want to see Jesse on camera again, just remember once we get to 1 million followers, he promised to do a live. I'm gonna keep saying it so that it doesn't get forgotten. 1 million followers gets this one live from Jesse. So do with that what you will. Yeah, that would be
so
fun.
2,500 more likes.
All right, guys, 2,500 more. Awesome.
5 seconds.
Okay, should I do this one gold again? Should we stick with the gold? Yeah. Okay. And then Pierre's here. Pierre, do you have an important update for us? You know I'm gonna put you on the spot when you come in here, right? Every time. An update. Pierre needs a haircut. If you're a hairdresser, he might need you to help him. You're all handled. All right, guys. So I'm mixing a little bit of this flake in with the UV resin to get that first layer that we talked about. I think it's a little thick with the foil, so I'm gonna add a little bit more UV resin, and we're gonna do 13.1. You guys are crushing it. We're gonna go ahead and do this in the letter Q because it's right on the edge here. So let's go ahead and start pouring this into our letter. I'm gonna go ahead and just even it out. Um, hey Leslie, good to see you. I hope your guys' event went really well. I know you guys had a really awesome event, a great cause by some great people. Hopefully that went really well for you guys. We are playing with some of our new molds. We did some epoxy earlier, and now we're doing some UV resin because we're out of things to do. That one went so well. Oh yeah, they could verse your hair. That's where they straighten half of it. No, I'm just kidding. All right, okay, so I've got my first layer done with the UV resin. So now I'll go ahead and I will cure it.
We got 1,000 likes.
I will tell you too, what's cool about epoxy is you can feel it curing. So it's actually really nice and warm, like right above these letters. So now that the air is on and it's cold, I can just get one here. It's over in the corner. I can slide this over a bit. Yeah, just move a little bit of my stuff. All right.
Said you guys are cool. Hope everyone is doing well.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, is that better, Jesse? Okay, cool. So we're curing this cue here. We're doing it in the two parts. Remember, I said that you want to make sure you're doing layers whenever you're using the UV resin in these molds because these molds are quite thick as far as keychains go. 14.9, you guys are crushing it. Hey, Jeffrey, good to see you, my friend. Awesome. So that's all nice and cured. Now I just need to cure out my little bowl here so that I can mix the colors and the glitter in there, and we'll see how dark we can get it. Again, you don't want to go super dark because it needs to be opaque enough for the light to be able to pass through the cure. But yeah, we'll see in a second.
Looks like it's
It's getting
might
there.
be a little heavy. Oh yeah, we got it.
Guys are in for a surprise for a gift. So, do we have details or?
You guys did this. What are you looking at me for? What gift did you decide, guys? Jesse?
Jesse.
We're gonna send Jesse out.
Right, just get a mystery box.
Una sorpresa from Jesse. And it's gonna have nothing but Jesse stickers. Can we throw them at least your Valentine's Day stickers? Like, make it special. Yeah.
Abby, thank you for the follow on TikTok. We appreciate it.
It's up to you, Jesse.
Oh,
Let them vote. Yeah, sounds good.
voting day.
Oh, here.
What, Jesse? Oh, Ashley, I'm making myself a custom hat.
I'm still waiting on one of them to make me a custom tumbler, Ashley.
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should vote though.
Yeah, let them. Right, guys. Vote for what you want. Today is the only day you have to do this. Oh, that's super cool. Victoria, send me a link to that. I'll see if we can get the bosses to give me one. All right, I'm going through with my second layer now, guys. So I'm doing that black layer. I put a lot of glitter, some alcohol ink in here, and I am hoping for the best. The only thing that I just thought about, we usually cure the backside of this as well. There's zero chance of I'm flipping this over. So we'll see what happens. No, not yet. Not yet. This one.
Oh, but those are
Exactly. Exactly. Do you see the problem? No, it's not cured yet. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to from the back like that. Yeah.
possible.
All right. Danny says so. We're gonna try it. He's going to get a little bit more full so I don't have rough edges. That's one good point I will tell you. If you guys are ever making these keychains and you notice that you keep getting the rough edges, I mean, you just need to fill your mold a little bit more. Like if your mold is all the way to the edge, you shouldn't get those. But if you're just within the mold, that's how that happens. Just a fun little tip for you. I'll go ahead and give this a quick cure, and we'll see how we did. They haven't voted yet? You guys don't have to wait in line to vote here. You can just go ahead and vote. No registration needed. You're already here. That's up to Jesse. Jesse questions. First one to 5. I have eyes on this mold. All right, it's starting to cure. I feel pretty good about this. Let's see. While you guys are checking and waiting on those votes,
I got one UV.
UV or mini sub kit. Those are the options. Oh, spoiler surprise. Uber.
And three people said 3.
What is 3?
Is there a different option on TikTok?
UVs on TikTok.
Maybe option 3 is Jesse.
I got no UV. So I got 4.
Got 2 for mini kit.
5
UV
wins.
All right. Well, that's awesome, guys. So it looks like we have a prize that we're giving out. And y'all did great with the likes. We're not sure what's up with TikTok. Write your local TikTok congressman and ask them why this is happening to us. Yeah. I see. I see. All right. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Looks like I might have to give this another minute because I had to pour over it. I have 4 minutes. It's perfect. Perfect. So basically, for you guys that were watching, I did do another thin layer of UV resin on top of the colored layer because I've noticed with alcohol ink, because of the ingredients that are in it, it causes it to shrink a little bit on the top. So you never want alcohol ink to be like your top layer when you're using UV resin. It will cause like waves or a little bit of. So when you're done curing your layer, just do a real thin layer of clear UV resin over it. All right, so this side should be cured. I'm gonna try to cure the back side a little bit while Danny shows you.
All right, one more time. We're going to show you guys how to enter this contest where the giveaway is a UV resin starter kit. You're going to go ahead and go to our home page, and you're going to go ahead and click that video, and it's an unboxing. You're going to go ahead and like it and leave a comment, and it's going to enter you into the drawing for this free giveaway. Again, it's a mini starter kit, sublimation starter kit, and you're going to like it and leave a comment. And good luck.
I did it.
You did it.
I did it. It's just a tiny bit sticky though, so I'm giving it a little more time. But yeah, it looks like that worked. I got the colors much darker than I thought I could.
Addie, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, so you can do this with UV resin as well as epoxy. I just prefer epoxy because I feel like, again, you get a little bit darker. But if you are in a time crunch, UV resin will work just fine. So yeah, so I'm just giving a little bit more cure time. Again, whenever you're doing darker layers like this, the light's got to penetrate through it, so you need a little bit more time. Worst case scenario, I'm going to set this down in the window and let the sun do the rest because it's pretty good at that with its UV rays. Any other questions from anyone? Here's just kind of a quick preview. You can see it, but it's a little sticky. I don't know if you want to grab it. There you go. But yeah, not too shabby. And then we'll use, yeah, pretty dark. And I didn't mess up the hole. There's still a hole, so it can be keychains. Oh, it's ruined. Just kidding. It's very strong UV resin, so it's fine. Hot potato. All right, well, that was it, guys. Hope you had fun crafting with me today. We did some epoxy, UV resin, showed off a new product of gold flakes, which are coming soon. Guys, anything else for our friends here?
Yeah, again, thank you guys for joining us live. Remember that we're doing two lives on different platforms. If you watching on different ones, on different ones, thank you. And we're going to be continuously.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
Don't even know how to stop.
Tuesdays, remember we're here doing
like that.
Instagram, and then before that we did Facebook and YouTube. So we should be on platforms. And, we appreciate you guys joining us for the week. And remember, if you're in Arizona this week, we have a lot of new classes. You guys stop by, say hi. Hashtag live experience. We will make sure that you are taken care of and we get to meet everyone as well.
Oh, can I interrupt?
Guess what? Even Jesse. So, so if you are in the area, make sure you come this Friday and Saturday. If you're there, VIP night as well. And yeah, again, we appreciate you guys for the entire time. And
one more thing.
Yeah, no, I have one more thing. So my one more thing is, if you guys saw that the classes were full online for dinners, don't be discouraged. They are not actually full. The sublimation class is close to it, but there's still standing room in there. So if you guys wanted to do a class, you can still sign up. If you don't want to do one of those hour-long classes, come to our booth, do what you can take with us. Hey,
good job, guys. Good job.
Jeff, you didn't think you could do it.
There you go. Thank you guys. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. And